Scope. This procedure covers the determination of density, moisture content, and relative compaction of soil, aggregate, and soil aggregate mixes in accordance with AASHTO T310. The nuclear moisture density gauge is used in the direct transmission mode. Tools needed: nuclear gauge with reference block, logbook, drive pin, scraper plate, hammer, transport case for gauge, radioactive materials information packet, and the proper PPE. Radiation safety. This test method involves potentially hazardous materials. The gauge utilizes radioactive materials that may be hazardous to the health of the user unless proper precautions are taken. Users of this gauge must become familiar with the applicable safety procedures and governmental regulations. All operators will be trained in radiation safety prior to operating the nuclear density gauges. Some agencies require the use of personal monitoring devices such as a thermoluminescent dosimeter or film badge. Effective instructions together with routine safety procedures such as source leak tests, recording and evaluation of personal monitoring device data, etc. are a recommended part of the operation and storage of this gauge. Turn gauge on and start the 300-second warm-up before testing. Standardizing the gauge. Wipe loose material from the bottom of the gauge and block. Once on the block, start the 240-second standardization count. Input the Proctor value for the material you're testing. Once standardization is complete, you're ready to test. Make sure your test site is at least 30 feet away from other radioactive material, 10 feet away from large objects, and 6 inches away from any vertical projections, unless the gauge is corrected for the trench wall effect. Prepare a flat area sufficient for the gauge. Smooth the surface with the guide plate. Plane the area smooth for maximum contact with the material. Make a hole perpendicular to the surface using the guide plate and drive pin. The hole should be in 2 inches deeper than the desired depth. Remove the drive pin by pulling straight up and twisting the extraction tool. This is done to ensure the guide hole does not cave in. Place gauge on the surface so the rod can enter the hole. Insert the probe in the hole and lower the source rod to the desired depth. Make sure the gauge is flush and secure. Method A. 2 average 1-minute readings within 2 cubic foot-pounds of one another. The 2 readings are used to compute dry density. Method B, one 1-minute test, then a second, turning the gauge 90 degrees or 180 degrees, then average the two results. Clean up and secure for safe transport.